Have you ever sat down on a flight, buckled your seatbelt, and immediately thought, "How did I end up in this seat?" Your knees are jammed into the seat in front of you. There's no window to lean against. Your bag has already been gate checked. And just your luck, you're right next to the bathroom. Meanwhile, 2 rows ahead, someone is already asleep, legs stretched, headphones on, looking completely unbothered like they know something you don't. Here's the uncomfortable truth airlines never advertise. Your seat choice can make or break your entire flight. And no, it's not about paying more money. It's about understanding the hidden seat selection game airlines quietly rely on you never learning. If you've ever been stuck in a seat that wouldn't recline, waited forever to deplane while others walked right past you, or spent days recovering from a stiff back after landing, this video is your playbook. And stay with me until the end, because I'm going to share the exact seat strategy I've personally used on more than 200 flights, and it has never failed me. Let's start with the seat airlines love filling first, but experienced travelers avoid at all costs: the very last row. Those back row seats look harmless on a seat map, but they're designed to make your flight miserable. The seat often doesn't recline at all, locking your spine upright for hours, which isn't just uncomfortable. It can cause stiffness and pain that lingers long after you land. What makes this even worse is that you're paying the same price as passengers, just a few rows ahead, who can lean back and rest. Add in the non-stop bathroom traffic, doors slamming, people brushing past you, and occasional odors, and that seat becomes a punishment, not a place to sit. A flight attendant once told me she's watched passengers in the last row get bumped by the bathroom door dozens of times on a single flight. If you absolutely must sit near the back, there's a smarter move. Choose an aisle seat in the second to last row. You avoid the bathroom chaos while keeping most of the space and flexibility. Next comes one of the biggest illusions airlines sell: the exit row. On paper, it sounds perfect. Extra legroom, premium feel, and a higher price tag to match. But here's what airlines don't emphasize. When you sit in an exit row, you're paying extra to become an unpaid emergency crew member, legally responsible for assisting in an evacuation if something goes wrong. At the same time, you lose underseat storage completely. Your personal item, medications, snacks, everything must go into the overhead bin, which may already be full by the time you board. I learned this lesson the hard way on a flight to Denver. I paid extra for an exit row, then had my carry-on gate checked because there was no bin space left. That premium seat cost me an extra hour at baggage claim and nearly made me miss my connection. On top of that, exit row seats can be noticeably colder. Those emergency doors aren't perfectly insulated, and at 35,000 feet, you're sitting next to freezing outside air. If you choose an exit row, bring layers, or you'll be uncomfortable for the entire flight. Bulkhead seats are another option that look better than they actually are. No one reclines into you, there's open space in front, and it feels like a small upgrade. But airlines quietly remove the best features while keeping the premium pricing. The tray table folds out of the armrest, making it smaller and awkward to use, especially if you're trying to eat or work on a laptop. The armrests don't lift, so your seat is actually narrower than standard economy. The entertainment screen is usually built into the armrest as well, forcing you to look down at an unnatural angle that can cause neck strain on longer flights. And just like exit rows, there's no under-seat storage. Bulkhead seats only make sense if legroom matters more to you than convenience and you're traveling light. Then there's the middle seat, universally hated and often worse than people realize. You're squeezed between 2 strangers fighting for armrests with the worst access to the aisle. But here's something most travelers don't know. Middle seats often have poorer air circulation, making you more likely to pick up germs from surrounding passengers. However, there is one rare situation where the middle seat becomes strategic, and it ties directly into how airlines board planes. This brings us to Wilma boarding: window, middle, aisle. Airlines present it as efficient, but it quietly punishes aisle seat travelers. If you like aisle seats and board early to secure overhead bin space, Wilma pushes you to board last. By the time you reach your seat, the bins are full, and your bag is at risk of being gate checked. Here's the workaround airlines don't want you using. Book a window or middle seat initially, board early, secure your overhead bin space, then politely ask an aisle seat passenger if they'd like to switch. Most people are happy to trade an aisle for a window, and you end up with the aisle access you wanted and your bag safely stowed. Airlines also want you to believe that first class is the only way to be comfortable, but there's a hidden sweet spot that delivers most of the benefits at economy prices. On narrow-body aircraft, rows 6 through 9 tend to be ideal. You're close enough to the front to deplane quickly, but far enough to avoid galley noise and families with young children, who often cluster in the first few rows. You're also closer to the plane's center of gravity, which means less turbulence, less motion sickness, and a smoother ride overall. Rows 10 through 15, on the other hand, often become chaos zones filled with last-minute seat assignments and disrupted seating groups. After analyzing thousands of seat maps, there's one seat type that consistently stands out as the best on wide-body aircraft: the single center aisle seat. You get the mobility of an aisle without constantly standing up for seatmates, smoother service, and less turbulence. When Wilma boarding happens, you avoid most of the disadvantages while keeping the benefits. The key to getting this seat is timing. Set an alarm for exactly 24 hours before departure and check in the moment it opens. Those seats disappear fast. One of the most powerful tools airlines don't advertise is Seat Guru. Airlines highlight preferred seats that conveniently happen to be next to bathrooms, galleys, or fixed walls. Seat Guru exposes all of that. Enter your flight number and aircraft type, and you'll see warnings for limited recline, misaligned windows, and high-noise areas. Always screenshot your seat map after booking, because if the aircraft changes, you'll have proof when asking for a comparable seat. Check-in timing also changes everything. Most travelers check in casually within the 24-hour window, but experienced travelers know the first 60 seconds matter most. That's when airlines release their best remaining seats. Set alarms, save your confirmation number, and act immediately. Even joining a free frequent flyer program can unlock better seats without flying a single mile. Sometimes paying for an upgrade actually makes sense, especially on flights longer than 4 hours. Spending $25 to $50 on a better seat can save you days of recovery from stiffness and poor sleep. The trick is timing. Upgrade prices often drop within 24 hours of departure as airlines try to fill premium seats quietly. Check once when you book and again at the 24-hour mark. Here's the ultimate seat strategy that never fails. Research your aircraft before booking, target the right rows and seat types, check in immediately when the window opens, monitor last-minute upgrade prices, and always have a backup plan if Wilma boarding works against you. 5 minutes of planning can be the difference between a miserable flight and a comfortable journey. Airlines are counting on you to accept whatever seat they assign, but now you know better. So let me ask you, what's the worst airplane seat you've ever been stuck in? And which of these seat secrets surprised you the most? Drop your story in the comments because your experience helps other travelers avoid the same mistakes. If this video made you a smarter traveler, hit like and subscribe to Passport Pro for more insider travel strategies airlines don't want you to know. And don't miss our next video on hidden senior travel perks that could save you hundreds on your next trip. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.